All right, 6 o'clock. Please, Brian, can you join us?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Roll call. AVG.
Here.
LG here. Bonnie Holstein.
Here.
Chris Reeves is excused. Leah Rulo. Gary Yarles.
Here.
And Brad Duke.
Present. Well, I hope everybody getting on joint weather can have it for this week. So, Michigan, well, I guess we're supposed to have for the week. We don't know. It could change, right? Then the retired football fans, I see your lines made a trade today.
Ooh.
DJ
I think,
Reader.
quarterback. Cost some money.
Yeah.
Any additions, deletions, or changes to the agenda?
I'd like to move C and D down to non-consent for discussion.
Okay, I have a motion and support. Any discussion?
That's approval of the agenda.
Yeah, right now, approve the agenda with the changes. And support on that, so. Favor?
I
Aye.
Opposed? That's it then on communication.
I'll before that, I'd like to pay the bills.
Oh, I'm sorry. You got me off. Yeah.
Because
Sorry.
So yeah, I'd like to pay the bills totaling $709,330.44.
Motion. Support.
I'll support.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Gary Yarles.
Yes.
All is a yes. AG.
Yes.
Bonnie Holstein.
Yes.
And Leah Rulo. And Brad Duke.
Yes. All right, now with that said.
Thank you, Mr. President. I had a nice meeting with Chief Spencer from Pinconning Police last week. He submitted a proposal for next year for our school resource officer with a couple of different options. So I'm suggesting that we have a personnel committee in the next week or two to kind of look at both options, our Bay County SRO and the Pinconning Police, and then bring it back. I guess the other option would be I just bring you both and we do it there, but I think the committee is what we've done in the past, so, and then bring that for a suggestion to the board and have further discussion. Good? Okay. We have some grants that are due very soon for our staff. Actually, today is the due date for the Bay Area Community Foundation grants, which go through our Northern Bay, or the Northern Bay Community Foundation grants go through the Bay County. That's due today, but the Saginaw Chippewa Indian Tribe grants, the official date is March 31st, but I tell all staff that I want them in by the 24th, 1 week early, because I have to look them over and review them and give the okay. So these are grants that are very helpful in providing additional funding for district projects and student opportunities, some things that we don't always spend our general fund dollars out of, so it's nice to have them. The bid process for softball stadium seating and the soccer press box have come in. We received 2 for the press box and 1 for the stadium seating. Again, this is probably another committee, site committee, to look those over and see what we would like to do with those, if we want to move forward, and we would bring that back to the next meeting for approval. So
Only two, maybe you could bring it to us. Just two.
it's not really a discussion on
Which one?
Which one?
Oh,
It's
it's
just, are we going to do it?
Oh,
Because
okay.
we don't have to do them. If the price is way too high for one or the other, we don't have to go through with it. But, you know, either way, I mean, it can be for the whole board or it can be for a committee.
Two bids on each one.
2 bids for one.
But
2 bids for
he's
the,
saying one is way cheaper than the other, so there's really no choice.
Right.
yeah, the choice is pretty clear. It's
Whether
do
we want to do it all.
and maybe that's just the regular board. Maybe we don't have to have a site committee. I can just bring those.
Maybe get some more bids on the other one.
We already done it twice and we can't do it again without changing it. Otherwise, the person who did bid is at a downfall because they already put theirs in and it's public. So yeah, I thought the same thing. I asked the same question, like, because the first time we did it, nobody applied.
Your concern is too much.
If it is too much, yeah, where
you
the funds
concerned
will
it's too
come
much?
from? Well, it's too much. I know that, but I think it's things that we need and we probably, you know, have to do it. We're always gonna think it's too much. I mean, with the way things are now.
Could we have one on the press box?
We have 2 on the press box, 1 on the stadium
No, we
seating.
got 2 for both.
Oh, did we get 2 for both?
Yes.
Okay, I was thinking it was just 1 for the stadium seating. Good, that's even better.
You could either, whatever you think's best.
Yeah.
Want to do the whole board? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying,
I
Mr.
just
President?
mention it.
Spring, I'll put it in the next board packet in pros and cons. We can have a discussion.
Okay.
No problem. That's fine with me. Good. Okay. Winter athletics came to a completion last Wednesday. We finished them up with our girls basketball districts. We talked about the success at our last meeting and just a few highlights of what happened in the winter with us. We had 3 wrestlers, Isaiah Hoffman, Al Whiting, and Maverick Grievard, who all earned their 100th win. Basketball player Brady Lupp, he scored his 1,000th point, only the second student in Pinconning history to do that. Boys basketball team won 19 games, which tied the school record. Little asterisk, they had 2 more games, you know, per season. It used to be only 20 wins, but still it did tie the record, and that's amazing. Girls basketball doubled their yearly win totals for the past 3 years this year. Dance team brought home multiple trophies from their competition. They had a great day. Bowlers Audrey Schultz and Layla St. Peter competed in the state finals for bowling. St. Peter was the overall #1 after regionals. These next 2 are not officially in the winter sports season, but they happened in the winter sports season, and you'll understand why. Coach Mulligan was named the regional football coach of the year, which it happened, you know, well into the winter season, but amazing for us and for him. And then Dylan Krebbinghaus was named esports all-state, and that happened this winter as well. So much to be to congratulate our students, you know, and all the great things that they've done over the winter. So we're hoping for more great things coming up in the spring, which spring sports started today. You can hear the yells and the bats cracking out there right now. Pinconning athletics, the future. I just want to talk a little bit about some things with our athletics. Facilities are in wonderful shape. We're still working on football and soccer field grass. I walked out on the soccer field, and it's pretty good. You know, we do have those crabgrass puffs that are around that we've been working on, and Jeremy's been working to eventually get rid of all of them, so it's going to be very nice. But football is in rough shape right now, so we're working on the grass and the turf out there for that too. And then as well as the stadium seating for softball and the press box for soccer that we talked about. Our coaches are doing a great job at looking at training and conditioning, like what's that edge we need to do? How do we take that next step? Off-season and summer participation is needed. Our trainer, which is new this year, Megan Mulligan, will be able to help us in the winter to do some training and some things throughout the summer. So, you know, we do sometimes see schools that are smaller than us. Community is smaller, and for some reason their students are faster or stronger. I mean, the taller or bigger we can't really work on, but the faster and stronger we can, and our coaches pick up the phone and they call their coaches, they call their ADs and say, what are you guys doing? What are your programs? So it's neat to see the group of coaches we have and how much they care and want to keep working on what we have going on. Spring numbers look strong. We have a new young and energetic softball coach with a lot of help around her, with a lot of experience. Our baseball team went to quarterfinals last year and only lost, I think, one senior. So there's a lot of cool things, but then also what's coming up. Big events this spring. We have baseball districts here at Pinconning, and the Jack Pine Conference Track Conference meet will be here in the spring. It's early part of May. Just a great opportunity to show off our facilities and to get more eyes on Pinconning, because we always hear great things and we like having those events and bringing people in. And I'm hoping it helps our businesses and our community as well by bringing all those people in. Coaches and administration are continuing to brainstorm ideas to get our youth involved and excited about extracurricular activities. Athletics are the number one intervention for students in high school. When they're involved with something, they're in attendance more, their grades are better, and their behavior's better. And we see it as soon as they leave or they are no longer in it. The attendance goes away, as far as being here all the time, because they don't have that person pushing them. Grades might dip or drop. So it's a big intervention for us, and we're hoping to get the youth involved more. I think it was Dr. Braun that we talked last week about having kind of like an event with all the elementary kids to just, let's have a day where they get to kick a soccer ball, throw a football, hit a baseball, run on a track, whatever it is, just expose them to all the things we have, because maybe there's something that they don't know they like or are good at until they try it. So thinking about these sort of things of getting our students more involved, and we already have a lot of camps in the summer that our coaches have to get our students involved, but whatever we can do to improve that and increase the students' participation is a great thing. So they're doing good work.
I think it'd be great to boss the kids over a group at a time and have the varsity or senior kids out there,
That's exactly what Dr. Brown was talking about. Yeah.
Group, like the old field days.
Yep.
Yes, this is those.
What camps do we have in the summer?
Oh, we have basketball and volleyball. Wrestling last year had a camp. Football does like a 2 or 3 day thing where the kids come out. Obviously, they're not putting on pads and hitting, but they're doing other things as well. So it's a good group. Now, there's not really a baseball camp because that's when most of our youth are playing baseball. They're already, baseball and softball kids, that's when they're playing. So we haven't had that because they're already in the middle of it.
And I think golf, they can golf all year round.
Golf, Maple Leaf has a great program for our youth where they can golf. And I think our students can, I don't know if it's free or they
It's
get
free.
it is free. I think that's amazing.
So that's I know the publicity committee, that would be a good thing to put in there.
Yeah.
How many camps that they got in the summer.
Right. Yep, more on that later.
One last thing. How's 80 Floyd?
Mr. Floyd, I've heard great things. Dr. Brown, we were in last week and we were talking about these things. She said it's very nice, having him. It's very evident. He's bought in. Obviously, he doesn't have to buy in. He's been here for 30 years. So it's all good stuff. And obviously, he's learning. There's that learning curve of being a brand new AD while you're still teaching. But he's going to the Athletic Directors Association clinic next week. I think it's next week or this week, one of the two. To even get some more of those experiences and things that are happening.
He did come to the boosters meeting for sports too. And
Nice.
was very good at communicating and making sure that we know what's going on with that too.
So I'm just thinking if it's something that's going to work out, it's going to save money in the long run.
We will see.
We can move along that line.
Thank you.
Mr. Stoneback still provided.
I was going to say, unless someone.
Sheet for it. So student council will sponsor a blood drive on Tuesday, March 18th, 2025, from 8 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. in the school library. There are still openings available for interested donors. The senior poll awards will be held Tuesday, March 25th in the middle school gymnasium. The awards are a senior-only event where the seniors will hear the results of the senior polls. This event will feature free food, games, gift cards, and presentations over the 74 awards. Pinconning High School has artwork that is displayed in Studio 23 in downtown Bay City. There are 20 pieces from Pinconning on display. The display will be open to the public for the next 2 weeks. The high school symphonic band and middle school 7th and 8th grade band will attend the 2025 MSBOA District 9 Band Festival on Tuesday, March 4th, hosted by Standish Sterling Central High School. The high school band earned overall Division III good rating, and the middle school 7th and 8th grade band chose to go comments only in lieu of their rating. Both bands have been looking at our comment sheets to look at areas of improvement and growth. The State Solo and Ensemble Festival will take place Saturday, March 15th, hosted by Midland High School. Pinconning will be sending 6 events to the state competition. That's all.
Administrative staff.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, not consent, I was thinking. We'll get that later, right?
Good, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, 'cause it's not on there today, so it throws you off.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll start with our February students of the month. Our 9th grade student of the month was Skylar Palmville, and Mrs. Holmes nominated him and said that Skylar is a very mature and self-motivated student. He uses his time well and is always on task, getting his work done oftentimes before his peers and done at an advanced level. Skylar is extremely kind and a great role model for students around him. Our 10th grade student was Parker Ramsey. Mr. Borton nominated her. Student works hard on assignments and works well with others, and she's overall a delight to have in class. Our 11th grade student is Danny Dubay. He was nominated by Mrs. Maxwell. She said that Danny has proven to be a very hard worker in and out of the classroom. As an athlete, you may put many hours into practice before and after school, and as well as some weekends, and Danny did an excellent job keeping up with his grades in the classroom and his performance on the football field. Way to go. And our senior that was nominated is Spencer Socher. And Mr. King said that he pays attention to detail in drafting and CAD class, and that one I just want to add my own is he hand carved a Titanic replica in that class during our last project, which was super neat to go and see. He bought his own set of knives and everything, and went in there. Yeah, very meticulous. So super exciting to witness the things coming out of there. And our overall winner was Skylar Palmville. I don't think I have much else other than I want to just congratulate and signing on just a fantastic middle school assembly that we have on Friday. It's just neat to see our community come out to such a new event, but pack the stands for really good reasons. So we were able to nominate as for the Bay City Youth Optimist. And so I nominated Claire Donahue. Just a student that goes above and beyond everything she does, spends her time here, getting straight A's, achieving over 4.0, and then leaves from here and directly goes and does gymnastics until all hours of the night. And I don't know when she finds time to do real work to keep those grades up. So we have a luncheon tomorrow at 1:30. And actually, or 11:30, and then in the afternoon at 1:30, we had 2 students nominated for, it's a National Honor Society for, like VOTEC stuff through the ISD, so we got 2 kids nominated for that. All right, so we've had a lot going on in the middle school, really great things. Our February middle school students of the month for 6th grade was Austin Needs Ricky. Was nominated by Mrs. Hubert. She says Austin is a really great student. He is conscious about his schoolwork and does a great job on everything he does. He is extremely kind and respectful. For 7th grade, and the overall middle school winner is McKenna Cooley. She was nominated by Mr. Frank. He says McKenna is a dependable student who is always going the extra mile. She goes out of her way to help her classmates and is a great person. And 8th grade, Grace Millette, nominated by Mrs. Wright, says Grace is always smiling and engaging with her classmates. I can always count on her to have a good attitude no matter what we are doing in class. She gives her full effort in everything she does. So we had our first PEP assembly, I think maybe ever.
for middle school 2 Fridays ago on Friday, February 28th, sponsored by the Middle School Student Council. Went really well. The kids had a great time and they were incredibly well behaved. Last Friday, we had our first middle school honors assembly in the morning on our half day. Very well received by parents, very well attended. Again, the students were also on their best behavior. We had the recipients down on the floor of the gym, in the high school gym, and the rest of the student body was up in the bleachers. It was just really important to me to have them watch as we're kind of establishing this new tradition, and they did a really great job. Our 8th grade trip is on track to attend Kalahari coming up May 19th and 20th. That's an overnight trip. And then our 7th grade student body and our student council members will be attending a Loons game on Friday, May 2nd. And then we also have a middle school student that was nominated for the Noon Optimist Youth Appreciation Award that will be recognized tomorrow at the Doubletree in Bay City. And that student is Kaden Gage, who is a 6th grade student. Just a very positive, shining, bright face in the hallways. Always asks how I'm doing throughout the day and will catch up with me, and just is always just a bright, cheery guy. I just appreciate his positivity in the hallways. So that's all I have.
Okay, board committee.
We met earlier this afternoon for the publicity committee. Just that's, in the past, there hasn't really been a lot that has been done for publicity and marketing for Pinconning schools. And some of the discussion and ideas that we had come up with, there was a flyer that they had presented to show us that had highlights of different things that are going on at Pinconning area school. We had thought that maybe we could take those flyers to any of our games, any place we do ticket sales, any really stores and stuff that we could outreach around anywhere to kind of advertise. Having talking points about Pinconning area school. So if we have these flyers somewhere and we're handing them out, at least have a list of like all the things that are going on that we can highlight and kind of attend to. Developing a welcome packet. Looking into and continuing with the relationship with the Alpha Digital, and that is a process that's already being completed, showing a bunch of data as far as the outliers and around the fringes around. Well, I guess Paul, if you could talk on that a little bit more because you had seen that paper.
Yeah, they actually study the outlying areas or our fringes, and they know where those kids go to school if they don't go to Pinconning. Pretty neat, and we could market towards that, or at least find out why.
And then we also talked about QR code on the flyers to get more information out. To put the flyers out, have a lot of the highlights about Pinconning area school districts, but at least have a code, a QR code where they could scan and go in and look a little bit more into more information about Pinconning. And then video tours of the schools, also kind of incorporate that onto our website so that they can kind of get a look at the elementary schools, the middle school, the high school, and just at a visual from their own computers. So, a lot of good starting points.
More work for Andy to do.
Any other discussion? All right, now on to E, coaches. Moved down, it was coaches.
I make a motion to approve the 2024-2025 spring coaches.
Support.
I got a motion for, spring coaches, approve that. Any discussion?
Yeah, the reason I brought it down is with today being the day we're asked to approve these and also the day we're doing tryouts, we have to approve it here, see, so if we did have any concerns, we should have been talking about this weeks ago, but it's brought to us, unless you want to explain why it's brought to, I asked Andy why it's coming in this week, it's because a lot of these people's were not selected until just very recently, correct?
Yeah. a lot of them, I mean, there may be some that are returning, but some we are waiting until that last week to get it filled.
We know why? Just because people weren't applying? Or-
Yeah.
So, that being said, our policy states that Andy is to make recommendations to the board to hire all coaches. I wonder if we should consider saying that either we need to give them either need to say we need it 3-4 weeks prior to the start of the season rather than the day of, or we could give Andy the authority to, like we do with spending, hire part-time personnel that are less than $6,000 a salary. And he could actually pull those triggers as they get selected throughout the year. So a couple ideas of how, because this is not really a question of if we can hire them. We have to. So,
But from the coaching side of it all, like we started conditioning for soccer as soon as December, like when we came back from spring break. So if we hire a coach late, like right now, they don't get that preconditioning that other teams would have already gotten. So I almost think that we need to have them hired a month before the season starts, so then they can do that preconditioning that other teams are going to do.
that's what I brought it down for, because if for some reason we were not gonna hire one of these people, that sport would be in chaos.
Right.
I think softball's already in a bad spot because they didn't get that preconditioning.
Right.
They did.
Oh, they did?
They've been doing it for 2 months,
Oh, okay.
where most of our coaches, even though they're not approved, they put in
Oh, good.
hours and hours and they do it with the assumption that they will be approved. So that's kind of, I mean, what Mr. Yaros is saying, do we
make a requirement that our staff has to bring this to us 4 weeks before the season starts?
Can I just
Or do we just allow administration to make those decisions and then show us when they make those decisions, but not have to wait for our decision
Right.
to get those people started?
Anybody else have any discussion?
So as they come in, they could hire them. Softballs could go.
Yeah,
then there's no question.
There's no questions, instead of having to wait for all these positions to get hired.
right.
Go ahead.
I put this list together based on what I'm given from the athletic department, and basically what the list is really for you guys to see the budget of what the athletics, it's not really about approving the coaches so much as approving what,
It actually is, because our
Yeah,
policy
it's
is
a-
we approve them.
yeah, it's a two-factor
Oh.
situation, so
Yeah.
that's really what it's. Cause sometimes, we've approved them where we have several vacancies and they say vacancies, and sometimes coaches quit and I replace them and they're not brought back to the board.
Do we, I'm confused on the classes and the pay scale.
It should be.
That's all in the contract.
It's all from.
That's negotiated with the,
And the classes are basically how much experience they have.
no, classes are just the levels.
Oh,
Experience are the years.
That's in the handbook, actually.
Yeah.
Classes, it's
Oh, no, you're good. That's a good question.
Yeah.
oh,
Good
It is in the handbook, though.
okay.
Any other discussion?
So is there any other paid coaches other than this list? Is there any assistants that get paid or anything like that?
Anybody that's gonna be paid would be listed here, like
That's
you
what I
can see that we have a vacancy for assistant at track, it says vacant, because,
Right.
yeah.
We still want to fill.
How are we doing on the budget as far as sports? Like, I know we just talked about doing some district-wide events. Can we pay our coaches more? Because I think we could do
They
more
got a
sports.
substantial raise from last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's all negotiated in the contract.
That'll be brought to us if the negotiation.
The next contract.
Contractual.
So contractual, sorry, is that like union talk?
Yep.
or is it-
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So coaches are part of the union?
Yes. Well,
Wow.
the positions are in the contract negotiated by the PEA. Yeah, they're not in the teachers union if they're a coach, but they get their salary based on their contract.
But there are teachers that are in the
They're
teachers.
teachers,
Right.
yeah.
I think probably the reason why it's done that way, they predominantly all used to be just teachers. You know, they work in the building. School, I should say.
And I don't know any school districts that don't have that.
Yeah.
Where the union, the teachers union, are what's that, coaches? Separate? Oh, that's a good question. Great. No, don't be sorry. Good questions.
So, I mean, we're gonna accept, I made the motion to accept them, but I think I just wanted to go to Andy. Administration, I'd like some other feedback from board members if policy should go in and look at revising that policy, that it's not just them recommending it, but they have the authority to hire people, coaches that are under a certain threshold.
Did you want to make that as your motion, or you want to?
No, that would just be the direction. I'll, motion is, and I'll just make that for next year's recommendation.
Okay.
And it would be unrealistic to say we could approve all coaches at the start of the school year, correct?
Correct.
Never happened.
Right.
Makes sense.
Okay, so I got the motion.
That's support.
Motion and support. Any further discussion? Yeah.
No problem.
Sure.
Gary?
Yes.
And Bonnie?
Yes.
Leah? Yes. And Katie?
Yep.
Paul? Yes. And
Yes.
6-0.
And on to the item F, the calendar.
Make the motion to approve the 25-26 calendar.
Support.
Motion and support to approve the 25-26 school year calendar. Any discussion?
So, the only reason I pulled it down is obviously what happened this year. I assume that was addressed on this, even though I see it's still early. It's flagged, it's Friday the 15th again.
That's their last day. Graduation, we're
We're not
having
gonna
it
move
on
it.
Sunday.
Oh, we're not moving graduation to Friday again.
No.
Okay.
So we ran into a situation with soccer also, that our spring break has 2 games scheduled during spring break. And so I just want to make sure that athletics is working with whoever makes this calendar to understand that there's a few mistakes that happened this year.
Yep.
Due to not looking at the athletics.
Noted. Those have already been corrected, I think.
I heard one was, but I didn't hear
Okay.
another, but it may have been. So.
What sets the last day for seniors?
Whatever what we want, what we agree upon. I mean, in the past couple of years, it's been the last day with all students.
Yeah.
And the problem was, you now have the last day with teachers, all students, they're turning in stuff. It's a chaotic day anyway, and then to have that be your graduation day, when seniors are leaving, and grades, I mean, those seniors, some of them are waiting on that last grade if they're gonna walk or not. It was just a day with double chaos mixed in. And in many schools, most schools have seniors graduate a week or 2 ahead, just to get it away from that craziness of the last couple of weeks of school, so you can concentrate on those seniors graduating on that day.
How do teachers handle finals when you have classes with half seniors, half juniors, and half the classes leaving 2 weeks earlier? How is that handled as a curriculum issue? Is this not no issue?
It hasn't been, well,
They give 2 finals?
yes. Yep. And then actually they have to change the final, I would think, a little bit. They can't just give the same one 2 weeks later because people know about it, so it is a little more work, teachers.
Yeah, but what I see is they TA this, so they're okay with it.
A lot of seniors don't even take the finals, don't they? Like, if their attendance is right and their grade is a certain.
They have a formula.
Yeah, same criteria that they have to meet. It's pretty stringent at that point, but yeah, for the most part, they know. And they want to get out of here.
Yeah, that's,
It's
our
a
kids
very
were,
good incentive
they
for
didn't
them.
have to take them.
Anything else? Always. Yes, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public comments.
Quick one. Andy said that Brady Lucky was the second in school history, 4,000.
Second male.
Second.
Yeah.
If that wasn't clear, we had
Good.
2 girls did it first, and then Zach Johnson 4 years ago, and now Brady.
Thank you.
Discussion, board. thing I have is, I know the fall conference is in October this year, so it's up north, Grand Traverse, so any board members, that's where fall conference, where the annual conference, they have classes and things, just to put it on your radar coming up.
What's the dates?
I think it's October, like 10th, 11th, somewhere in there, but. Yeah.
So they're available now, so you can go to the MSBO.
You can go and see the dates. They're trying to, there's a few classes there, but they don't have a full schedule yet. They're trying to see people with them. So if anybody wants to go and speak, they'll you can fill it out as well. I think it's all. We get is Booster Club, all the issues taken care of? Haven't heard anything?
Haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard anything, and we were just at a meeting,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I think.
The only thing that I
Okay.
still am kind of wondering is, we talked about wrapping the dugouts on the soccer field. And I never heard from the school board, like, if that's okay or not, if the Booster Club pays.
That
for
has
it.
never come to us.
Yeah,
Oh,
We've never heard that yet.
I'd say that's the first I heard.
I mean, maybe Mr. Huber did before he left and didn't
Oh,
get it
good.
to us. I don't know. But yeah, we haven't heard that.
so we need to bring it to,
Yeah, bring it to Mr. Floyd.
You don't,
Okay.
do we approve that here?
Yeah.
If it's,
If it's over a certain amount, but I don't think it would be. I think like that'd be like painting, like you don't
Boosters,
know if they,
Boosters is paying for it.
Oh, so, okay.
I don't think there'll be any issue, obviously.
they'll
Sounds
probably
great.
start doing the fence again out front, won't they?
Well, we were waiting on the fence until the press box was built. Otherwise, we'd be driving across the field.
Right,
So that's why we were waiting to see if we get that done, then they can finish the fence.
yeah, because they'll start hanging signs pretty soon, I'm sure they'll ask about it.
You, this doesn't, ISD board, not you
Hmm?
anymore.
Oh, ISD board, I'm on it. Why,
I know.
what?
Coming up again, you have your
Oh.
envelope, or
Do
you,
I
He
need
was
to-
already provided
are you?
for Brenda.
Oh,
Oh, I have one?
Yeah,
Are you
from
I was
Brenda.
thinking at the last meeting, so.
Oh, she told me you already
So
had.
I'll get.
She mailed
I'll
them
get-
intercompany and then did provide yours and said you already had them.
So what do I need to do?
oh, it's coming up to run again, so you
Oh,
have
so
to,
I have to
if
serve,
you.
how many, yeah.
Or we're just trying to figure if
You wanna
Somebody else wanna do it?
Oh, that's what,
We're all newbies, so.
Okay.
okay,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
anything else? Not, that'll conclude our meeting except for a closed session. So, I need a motion to move to closed session.
Full section.
All right, now support.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.